But what you will want to take a look at is right up at the top, you've got access to all of your courses. You click on that and it'll have a list for every course period or class period you have. Also make note of the fact that you can change which year you're looking at and which semester you're looking at. So for instance, if I was and you can change your scope up in the top right here. You see I'm on quarter 4 right now. I could change to quarter 3 and see quarter 3 assignments. Right here you can see a breakdown of standards, and that to go back to that dashboard, you just have to click on that PowerSchool Unified Classroom button, and that'll take you right back to the dashboard. And that's over here you have your upcoming assignments, and down here you have an activity feed that will let you communicate with your students and parents. Right here you've got your traditional grades section. This is but I can also get another overview similar to that through the students page. I can see which students are failing and really need my help, and which students are borderline and could use a little bit of an extra push. But what we're really here for is taking a look at class pages and how we can actually use those. So I'm just going to head right into class pages. And this is kind of what a class page can look like. Let's see what a new fresh page looks like. We got to give it a title. The star means that you have to do that. We just want it to be a brand new page standing by itself, so we're going to hit save. And you can see that there's a little bit of an indication of what we're supposed to do with a new page here. So it says click Add Content Block button to get started. Is just by clicking this Add Content Block button, you've got a lot of different options that are available to you. First, you've got your text block, which is really going to be your standard. Just put a bunch of text in there. You can also put in images and links and things like that. So I'm just going to save that. And you can see I've got my caption here, I've got my whatever my text is, and then if I just sort of hover over it, I've got alt text for ADA compliance. When I want to move this around, I can actually just grab it by the title bar here, and then I can just drag it over onto here. So manage page is where I'm going to find the option to change what my page layout is. Let's try adding a file, and yes, I actually have a file on this one. So let's say worksheet. Then we can click upload a file, choose files. Now the question is, where was that one? Right there. So I click open and attach. And that's pretty much all I have to do. So anyway, I'll click save. And so now the text comes first, and then it's showing up as an attachment here. So I can click on that, and it's going to open up the PDF. Your messages and activities, and that's going to allow you to do things like discussions, assignments, assessments, announcements, and polls and wiki projects. Right now I'm going to focus though on creating an assignment. So first off, you give your block a title, and you can do this as just assignments. We'll put that at the bottom of the page so that everybody has to look through all the content before seeing the assignment. Then I click New Assignment. So title, this is the assignment's title this time. So Chapter 6 Review. Here, if I had a rubric, which I'll go over later, how to apply rubrics, I'll do that in a follow-up video. If I had a rubric, I would select it here. I could just type it out and then I would be able to find it. And then I'll give details about the assignment. And here's where I can schedule it so that this is the due date. I can allow students to submit work online, save in gradebook, give it the point value, so this one's worth 50 points. I can auto-calculate assignment standard score in PowerTeacher, but I'm probably not going to do that because I'm not tracking standards. And then show in assignment blocks, we want that checked because then that will show it down at the bottom of our page. If I have any files that I need to upload with it, I can click here and then I can choose my files. I don't have any files that I want to upload with this one, but it's good to have that option. Now I can click Save. And this is going to be the, it's already got the block title for assignments here, but then if I wanted to put more information about, like say the sequence or any of that sort of things, I would click here and type in more information about the assignments. I click Save, and now there's assignments, more info about the assignments, Chapter 6, review details about the assignment, and then I can click View Work. When I click View Work in here, it's just going to take me right to that assignment, and then I can see, okay, here's all of my students, here's all the ones who have handed it in, here's the ones I've gotten back to, and then here's my grading panel. I can just grade from right in here. So and we're going to do another content block. We're going to do a poll. And with polls, it's just something like, okay, how about did that work? I don't know what that was in reference to, but sure, why not? And then right here, I can just put in my choices here, yes and no. And then to add more choices, I can click the Add Choice button, and to get rid of choices, I can click the trash can. To reorder, I just click the up and down buttons. Right in here, who can vote, students only, parents only, or everyone in roster. Since this is PowerSchool and it's linked in with our PowerTeacher Pro and all of our student information stuff, we're going to have it set up so that if we have a student's parent's email address on file, it's going to be tied directly in so that you can automatically send notifications to parents directly from within PowerTeacher or within PowerSchool. So we can do students only, parents only, or both. So especially if I was like selecting a date for an event or something like that, I might want students and parents to give input on that one. I can do multiple choices, or I can just do one. I could add other, but if you do add other, then you can't get rid of it later on if you need to modify it. So they'll be given the option to type their own answers in, but I won't have the ability to remove that other thing later. So just keep that in mind if you're going to allow an other section. Also, anonymous poll, it means that you won't be able to see who voted for what. And then you get your options for when the poll results are going to display. And you get your option for how long to keep the poll open. So if I wanted to make sure that that was only until the end of the month, I can click there. ask user to respond via pop-up. I think that like notifies users once they get into your page that they need to respond to this poll. And click publish. So yeah, discussions are kind of similar. Okay, so class discussion. Group discussion allows you to create customizable groups of students. What's really neat about group discussions is that once you've created groups, you can continue to use those same groups through multiple discussions or multiple projects. So the group features actually work really well in PowerSchool Unified Classroom. And then there's one-to-one discussion, which is like journaling and private blogs between you and the student. So those are all options that are available to you. I'm going to do group discussion because I want to show that part off. So in this case, I've got, I can do 2 groups here. I could actually create a 3rd group, and then I can click auto distribute students, and it's just going to give me automatic groups. I can change the group names. I can change which group students are in case I know that, you know, say Jessica Kennedy doesn't work well with Elizabeth Patterson. I can move her to group 3. And if I click review groups, I can see an overview of all of the groups and make sure that there aren't any problems that are going to happen here, any conflicts of personality. Then I go back into edit groups. I could clear it and start again if I wanted to, or I can click finish if I'm satisfied with these groups. Here's the length of time that the discussion is open for. You can have students able to view the other group's discussions. By default, they can't see what the other groups are talking about. So, you know, that's pretty good if you're doing some sort of like work with your group to figure out the solution to this problem, and then we're going to talk about the different solutions that our groups come up with afterwards, that kind of thing. Require students to post first before seeing others' posts. A lot of teachers, when they're setting up discussions, that's a feature that they want, so I'll check that one. And then you can also do it as a graded discussion, in this case 10 points. And when you do that, it doesn't just automatically give a student 10 points for discussing. You actually have the ability to go in and take a look at what the students are saying. So we'll take a look at that here. Again, you can upload a file and you can change which block it's going to get placed in. So in this case, I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to click View Group Discussions. And in here, this is where I would be able to see all the different threads that are going on. I can create my own posts if I want to jump in, or I can click Manage Discussion, View Results here. And this is going to give me a list of all of my students, which group they're in, and what their posts, like how many posts they have, and what they put in those posts. And then I can click on grade over here, and I can give that students the grade that they deserve for the responses that they gave. And in this case, I'm going to do Manage Class, and then I'm going to go down to Import and Export. So in this case, I'm going to import, choose a file. It should be in my downloads here. I'll click Open and Upload. What that's going to do for me is it's going to take all of the content that's compatible with PowerSchool Learning, and it's going to throw that all into an imported content page. Let's include the empty pages, because even the empty pages might have titles that might encourage me to organize things a little bit more properly, or recreate content that didn't carry over which is a possibility. Hopefully it's not too much of the content. But we're going to click import. Also in the manage class, there's quite a few different things that we can change in here. So let's go to edit theme. And I will be creating a school theme for us that's going to have the school colors and you know, maybe the school logo as a background watermark, so it kind of looks like what we had in Canvas. But then there's also the PowerSchool Learning themes, and you can also create your own themes to go along with your content. So in this case, let's take a look at some of the default themes, and I'm going to see, okay, I want to try this one, the jellyfish one, and I click apply. It does give you a little preview of what it's going to look like, but now you can see that all of the colors have changed, and now I've got this new background. I've got another background behind here. If I don't particularly care for some of the colors, I can go in there and I can change that. I can edit this to my liking. So like in the other learning management systems, when you're using PowerSchool Learning, you do have to make sure that when you're done with a page, that you publish it. You can see which pages are published and which pages are unpublished by taking a look at these icons over on the side. You see as I'm mousing over, all these ones with the slash through them that are grayed out are unpublished. At the top right of each page, I have this little button that can say publish. So if I want that visible, I can publish it now, I can publish it later. I'm going to publish this one now. But if I want to see what it looks like from a student's point of view, I'm going to go up to that Manage Class option again, and I'm going to do View as Student. You know, this is similar to in Canvas we had Student View. It appears you have some unpublished pages. They will not be viewable by visitors. Click on the Publish button when viewing the page to make this visible. We can click OK. You can see there's only one page that'll be viewable. The rest of them won't be, but then this is the page and how it's going to look to a student. So right in here, you know, you can pull open the comments, but I can't add a comment because I'm a student, so only the teachers can add comments to that one. I can click on View Group Discussions. I can hand in an assignment. Once you're done poking around as a student, you can click Exit Preview. Also up there was a button that said View Published that would only allow you to see the things that are published. If I click on Organize Pages, now if I want to make any of these pages a subpage of another page, all I have to do is grab it by the handle and move it over to the right. You see how it indents a little bit and that little icon shows up? And then if I want to make it a regular page, then I just drag it back over to the left. So I'll click Apply, and all of the subpages and that mess is going to be it's going to be how I had it in there. So yeah. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully this gets you going. You know, we're going to be doing some live sessions on this as well, so that you can ask some questions and get further acclimated to what's going on in here. I'll be sending out details on how to log in and this video. So again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. We're all going to kind of learn this together, and you know, hopefully we're going to start off on a pretty good footing because we've all got some experience with learning management systems now. It's mostly the same stuff, just in a slightly different way.